Hi, welcome to this edition of On Tap, presented by FCSI The Americas. I'm Wade Kaler, Executive Director. On Tap this week, I have the pleasure of interviewing a lady who is always so upbeat and fun to be around. She's active with FCSI on the Conference Planning Committee and on the Upper Midwest Chapter Leadership. Please welcome Project Manager at S2O Consultants, Miss Peg Galie. Hey, Peg, welcome to the show.
Thank you. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm so glad that you got to join us. We do these random drawings for who's part of the show. And so I'm so excited that your name finally came up as far as the randomness goes when it comes to doing these. So I appreciate you joining us. We like to start off every one of these with a little bit of background of how people get their start in the industry. So tell us a little bit about how you got your start, not only in the food service industry, but specifically how you got your start as being a consultant in the food service industry.
Sure. So in 8th grade, I was a dishwasher at a Dog and Suds near my home. My sister worked there and she got me the job. I was swimming in our backyard pool when they called. And I remember I was like, I had to take my bathing suit off and get dressed. So food service has always come back into my life. Sometimes I didn't want it to, but it did. Yeah. And I just have a love of it. It's easy. It's fun, communicating with people, helping people, serving them. Sometimes it's frustrating, but some of the stories that you get to tell of what happens is, it's always a fun time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always a fun time.
So what led you to becoming a food service consultant and specifically getting to work with S2O?
Sure. My father was a contractor, so I've been in the building industry my entire life. He was a residential home builder. And then I, went off. I met Kristen while we were raising our babies at a local restaurant. She was the bartender. I was the server, and took a while for us to become friends. We always joke about how we kind of felt each other out, so to speak, for a while. And then we were like, oh, yeah, we like each other. So we remained friends all these years. And then I went on to do residential work. I was doing warranty work for a local home builder. And then 2008 hit, which we all know what happened in 2008. Yeah. And so I was let go, and I was fortunate enough to get in with a healthcare company. And I worked there. And in the meantime, Kristen, I always call her Chris. Kristen was saying, hey, can you check plans for us? Can you do this? Can you do? And I was like, sure, I'll do that. I'll help you out. And it was kind of my part-time nighttime gig. And then at one point she said, okay, now you have to come and work for us. And I was like, okay, but I do have a really good gig going on here. So we got to make sure that, this is my last jump. I'm too old to be jumping anymore. So she's like, nope, this is it. So made the jump and never looked back. It's been the best decision of my life. I love it, Kristen. I love Harry Schildkraut. My coworkers are all great. We have a great team. Mm-hmm. So it's been a great, great joy to be with the group.
Nice. Now with S2O, I know that you dabble in a little bit of everything when it comes to the food service industry. For you specifically, is there any specialties or segments? Do you have any specialties within the company? And is there any segments specifically that you stay within when it comes to projects?
So as you know, Harry does mostly sports. And then Kristen does a wide variety. She does sports. She also does B&I. She does schools. So I've been working with Harry over the last few years. So I've done a lot of sports, but I've also done schools with Kristen, and I've done a little bit of B&I, not too much. Okay. So at this point now, I'm going kind of back into schools and working with that and finishing up I'm doing a few projects yet on the sports side. Okay, which is always fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that you guys, as a company itself, have done. I've talked with Harry. We've had Kristen on as well, and some of the projects that you've been fortunate enough to work on are some of the most well-known sports complexes, whether it be stadiums, ballparks, whatever, known around the world. So, pretty prestigious places too. That being said, is there maybe 2 or 3 projects that you're most proud of or had the most fun on when it comes to working on?
So the Chase Center in San Francisco. It's just such a great setting. It's across the street from the bay, and you look out on the main concourse, and there's the bay. And then it's just a beautiful facility. The food service facilities are beautiful. It was really fun to be part of that project, and it's just beautiful. And then I think something else would be real local here. It's the Crystal Lake High School. We did I worked with Kristen on it, and we did a food lab for the kids, and it just was a really cool project. She designed a retracting wall so that it could be part classroom, part schoolroom, and it's just a really cool thing. And plus, it's literally 5 minutes from my house, so that makes it that much more fun. Yeah, nice and local.
So, as you mentioned earlier, you and the S2O owner Kristen Sade have been friends for a very, very long time at this point. Tell me what it's like to work on a daily basis with one of your best friends. It's
great. We don't really have any angst. I mean, sometimes we do, but that's okay. Like it's not personal. You know, I'll be like, you know, we go at each other, and then we're like, okay, fine, we're all good. You know, we carry on. At the end of the day, I love her to death. She's my closest friend, and you know, it's been a pleasure. She's so generous, and as is Harry. It's truly been a gift. So
nice. What's one thing about Peg that no one would ever guess, whether that be a secret, a hobby, or something like that, that if they knew you for a short time, they would never be able to guess that you are part of?
I have a secret twin. No, I'm only kidding. I actually worked construction, and I actually worked carrying a tool belt. Like I did residential construction. So I had a tool belt, I had a nail gun. They called me the little guy. I worked with my brother. People thought I was a boy, and that was okay because it would have been odd if they knew I was a girl. So not many people know that. It's just one of those things. Yeah. It's helpful when I have home improvement people come in because they try to tell me something. I'm like, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
Don't give me that. So, yeah, it's just enough to make me dangerous, as I always like to say.
If you hadn't chosen a career in the food service industry or not come back to it, what do you think you'd be doing at this point in your life?
I would still be in the healthcare because the company I worked for was a very good company. Yeah, I would still be there. Now, not having nearly as much fun, but I would be there.
You know, like I said earlier, you've been involved with a lot of projects and stuff. Is there a favorite city that you've been to, not just the project that you've worked on, but is there a city that I know you and Kristen like to travel a lot to, and that's one of the reasons that leads into this question, that you like to visit, or one of your favorite cities you like to go to when you're ready to blow off steam or just get away from everything?
You know, I would have to say Washington Island. Chris has a family cottage up there, and it's anybody that's been there. We have a get together with the girls in the summer, and it's a super special place. And whether you're, you know, blowing off some steam or just sitting on the porch looking at the water for 6 hours straight, it's just a great place. I love it. Not in the winter because it's cold.
Exactly. No. Exactly. It gets very cold up there, especially off the lake.
Yeah.
You've been in Chicagoland area though for quite a few years. For people, we've had a couple people this season that have talked about Chicago being a place they'd like to visit that they've not gone to. What are some must-dos that you recommend to people, whether it's cheesy touristy traps or whether it's a secret place that the locals go to? What are some must-dos that you recommend to people when they visit Chicago for the first time?
And I agree with you completely. Chicago is a beautiful, beautiful city. We always say you got to go to Millennium Park. You got to see the Bean. We always say you got to go. There's this Italian restaurant that's actually pretty well known. And I'm brain freezing on the name. La Strada? I don't know. But it's so good. I can't think of the name of it. I was just there. They have the most amazing soup. Go into those little neighborhood bars. They're amazing. Yeah. We just found one, or Chris just found one over in her neighborhood, and she took me there. Oh my God, it's amazing. Just these little old neighborhood bars, and it's so much fun. It's like walking into Cheers.
Yeah.
The lakefront, you got to go to the lakefront. And anytime I go to a new city, I try to do a food tour because it's just a great way to see any city, and you get all the stuff that you want to taste in that city. So that's what I would do.
Are you a fan of Chicago deep dish, or are you not a fan of Chicago deep dish style pizza?
I like it a lot,
Okay.
but I still prefer the thin crusts and the hot dogs. You got to have a Chicago dog.
I agree with that, and obviously I live 2 hours south of Chicago, and growing up in that same area, I love deep dish pizza once in a while, but I'm still a fan of thin crust regularly. If I have my choice.
Lou Malnati's all the way. Yeah, Lou Malnati's delicious.
Well, that's all the questions I've got as far as the formal side goes. But I do have a few would you rather questions because, as you know, I like to have a little bit of fun at the end of every one of these interviews. So I've got a slew of questions I like to peek back and see what Peg's mind looks like, especially being around you over the years, and now that you've joined conference planning, I get to know you a little bit better every time. So now this is even further peeling the curtain back and seeing what's inside that head. The first one is, would you rather have the ability to move things with your mind or the ability to read minds?
Read minds.
Would you rather be forced to sing along or forced to dance with every song you hear?
Dance.
Okay. Would you rather be chronically underdressed or overdressed?
Oh, underdressed.
Would you rather have universal respect or unlimited power?
Oh, I'll take the respect all day long.
Okay. Would you rather never be able to go out during the day or never be able to go out during the night?
Never go out at night. I like the sun.
Would you rather lounge by the pool or lounge on the beach?
Pool.
Would you rather wear the same socks for a month or the same underwear for a week?
Socks.
Okay. Would you rather spend a week in the forest or a night in a real haunted house?
A week in the forest.
Would you rather get a paper cut every time you turn a page or bite your tongue every time you eat?
Oh, I'll take a paper cut all day long.
Okay. Would you rather sip aviation gin with Ryan Reynolds or shoot tequila with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson?
Well, I don't like gin, so I'm going to have to go with The Rock.
Okay.
I mean, tough choice.
Yeah.
Can't believe I'm turning down Ryan Reynolds.
Would you rather have skin that changes color based on your emotions or tattoos that appear all over your body showing what you did the day before?
Oh, dear. I guess the tattoos would be better.
Okay. Would you rather be beautiful and stupid or unattractive and a genius?
I'd have to go unattractive.
Would you rather only be able to eat pizza for a year or not be able to eat pizza for 5 years?
Only pizza for a year? Yeah, only pizza for a year.
Would you rather give up cursing forever or have to give up desserts for 10 years?
Oh, my God. This is a really tough one. I'm going to have to go with giving up cursing. Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
And the last one I've got for you today, would you rather go backstage with your favorite band or be an extra on your favorite TV show?
Oh, I'd go backstage. Yeah, that'd be really fun.
And which band would that be?
You know, my all-time favorite was always Aerosmith. So, but
okay.
Now he's just so, yeah, let's say Aerosmith.
Okay, okay, that's perfect. Well, that's all the questions I've got for you today, Peg. But before we let you go, how can people find out more about you and the firm?
S2O Consultants.net. My email address is peg@S2OConsultants.net. So we are very good at answering emails. And, yeah, visit the website, give us a call, or email us. Thank you.
Perfect. Well, that wraps up this edition of On Tap, presented by FCSI The Americas. A huge thank you to Peg for joining us today. We can't do this show without members like you. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe to the show wherever you find your favorite podcasts and turn on those notifications so you don't miss out on any future episodes. But until then, cheers.